today's video we're going to be doing What If I Was in Disventure Camp Season 2, which is the 800 subscriber special. I would never be late. Nah, me piffed. Anyway, first off, thank you so much to Silverstray for giving me the idea for this video. Also, do note that Disventure Camp is owned by Odd Nation Cartoons, and the footage in the background right now is owned by Odd Nation Cartoons. We're going to be doing this using a tier list. You'll understand in a second what I mean by that. And we're just gonna get right into this. First off, I had to really decide whether I was gonna replace somebody or I was gonna be added, and since I don't need to deal with more number issues for this, I decided to just replace somebody. And how did I choose who I do that with? I used wheels. So I'm gonna be showing you the wheels right now. So for the wheels, I just did the team first off, which is you choose orange team or green team. And as shown, it chose orange team, which I thought I was gonna choose green by the looks of it, but And then I had to choose replace one of the females because I am female. So it landed on Maggie, which I was actually really hoping it did, because yeah, that's better in my opinion, because no offense to Maggie as a character, but either way, I think that's basically it before we have to begin this. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Alrighty, episode 1. One thing to note, I'm just gonna say that real quick that I did see the first season like in canon here, since I really did. And it doesn't matter what time, because the first challenge in episode 1, of course, is the running thing. It doesn't really matter what time I run, because she didn't even make the teams in order. So, and since this wheel, as shown already in the intro, said I was on orange team, I'm of course on orange team here. Challenge-wise, I probably just interact a bit with Lake and Rosa, like on the boat, since I'm replacing Maggie, I'd be on Maggie's part on the boat, and since Lake already knows how to drive a boat, and I don't. So, Oliver would probably still throw, and sorry to all the Oliver fans out there, but there is a really high likelihood I would just vote with the majority here, and also given the fact I hadn't really interacted with Oliver to truly care enough about him going, so Oliver in canon would still be eliminated, but y'all, a lot is going to change. I'm just going to warn you now. Knowing your strategic side and bonds required to make it farther, I would most likely just try to become a bit closer with Rosa and Lake, if anything, this morning. And the challenge itself, I am able to stay awake for a decently long time, but no way am I going to stay as long as Allie or Carol managed to do so. So for simplicity, I'm just going to say that I got out midway because I got too tired. And also, since Maggie isn't here, Kai would never really defend their duty here. That's just, yeah. Anyway, we're going to also assume Rosa offers the alliance to me, Lake, and her instead of Maggie. And I think what happened is I choose to eliminate James, since A, Carol almost won the competition for us, B, James is a slimy little weasel, and he just seems suspicious overall to me probably at that point, and seeming more strategic to all that. This would make me want to alliance with James, because remember, Lake also said that she wanted to vote James, and then of course he pulls off what he does. Here's the things though. Of course, when I say what he pulls off, I'm referring to the fact when he exposes Carol and all that. Knowing my suspicions of him being more strategic and being confirmed here, plus Aiden legit being shown to be so mad in this situation when I saw, because in canon, all I would see here is I just see this fight break out, which, yeah, and I think I personally vote James. Likely the girls would go along with it, given the fact they were already considering him. You can of course argue Carol wanted to target one of the girls, however, it was also confirmed here that Aiden and Carol were enemies, so I could also use that to convince him to keep Carol, as not only to help challenges, but also since Carol aids Aiden, that would keep us off the back burner and be not targets anymore, and also plus majority. And since Aiden also hated James, it'd probably be a shocking 4-1-1 on James, and probably I talked to Aiden a bit before the elimination ceremony, informing him that we'd like to also vote James with him, which would of course make him happy because, well, he hates James. So now we can move on to episode 3, which at this point the mornings, Carol and Ann would probably just be fighting, which the girls would just had it. Of course, it would be really Lake in at rock face, which would jumpstart Rosa on that. I don't know if it'd be a reveal, since Lake had a fiance, since no romance exists here, but I guess Rosa could ask about me. I don't know, but I'd probably be doing what's due next strategically, which, I don't know. Anyway, challenge-wise, I know I wouldn't do it, regardless of it being weird, but this is just cartoons. We're just gonna move on from that. And also, would Carol even do it? Anyway, you could argue I would go, since we lost the challenge here now, because of me or Carol not doing this. But I'm sure they respect me not wanting to do it. They respect the decisions of Lake. They respect my decision partially. It'd be unknown whether Carol would vote me. I mean, Carol hates Aiden so much in canon right now. I don't think she would have voted me here. Either way, Aiden and Lake's friendship existing, and if I talked with him the previous episode too, which I'm just gonna say, of course, I did, and the friendship between all of us, that would, of course, cause Carol to be eliminated. But of course, there's a double. So I think Aiden would actually go here in the double. But even if that hurt Lake and Rosa a bit, I did talk with him and think he was cool. It's $1 million and he can go away. You can argue that for the challenger. But we're just moving on, of course. And also, I think Lake would vote for me. Here's why. I think Lake, we barely interacted at this point because she didn't interact a lot with Rosa and Aiden at this point, but me, she barely interacted with, so she had to choose. She'd vote me. So the votes would be as so. I think Aiden would vote for Rosa because Rosa, he also didn't talk too much with compared to me and Lake. So that would also occur, but me and Rosa would vote for Aiden because, of course, I would vote for Aiden, I think, due to the fact that the 3-person alliance, and that can take me further in the game. That's giving such Dan vibes right there, but either way, and we move on to the next episode. So in the morning, Lake would be sad about the leave of Aiden and would also be sad about what Rosa said the previous episode. And since I was still here, Lake would want to make sure there was no bad beef, since it was revealed that she voted me due to the 2-1-1 thing. And since Aiden's gone and I'm here, plot relevance, with her helping realize Rosa's trying to help, which builds that dynamic. Anyway, challenge-wise, Rhea would still find the swap thingy and still swap Yule and Rosa. I don't see a reason to change it in the slightest, so swap. And since Yule, Lake all admitted everything when it comes to the challenge here, and I would too likely, I don't really have anything dark enough to admit. I don't know. I don't think I do. So I'm gonna say we win because we are also struggling. 3 versus 7. This is just an unfair. And somebody on the other team, out of these 7 people, has to not admit something. Right? Yeah. Now, who would they vote off? We know at this point, Hunter, Allie, and Tess would be working together. Rhea would, of course, be making friends with Rosa, and Rhea and Connor, of course, at this point, were also friends since Connor's still here. This would mean that these two are just friendship trios or something like that. Well, of course, the Tess, Hunter, and Allie thing is a look, but that's moving on. And since now Kai is the deciding vote, and I think that Kai would side with Connor, Rosa, and Rhea because Connor had an okay friendship with Kai we saw in the episode, so I'm just gonna say that happens here. Would Kai still blow up on Yule though, since Maggie's in here? That's the thing I'm wondering, which would have happened in the previous episode. I guess I forgot to mention that, but either way, I do think they'd vote for Hunter because in the canon, they only did not vote Hunter, like the huge alliance from episode 7. The only reason they did not target Hunter is because he was immune, and they targeted Allie and Tess instead because they really had no choice here. So I think they choose Hunter for the same reason, even because at this point, that was actually episode 7, so he didn't even win a challenge. You get my point though. Anyway, 4-2-3 on Hunter, and Hunter is shockingly gone, and the girls have a wholesome goodbye with him. Moving on to episode 5, me and Link will be talking, and you will be very annoyed trying to figure out a way to eliminate one of us. You will then come up with the idea, the dark idea, to poison one of us, the dark ending, but how would he do it without help? We're just gonna move on, and to the next point. On the other team, Allie and Tess decided Hunter's departure, vouching to go on for him. Rhea, Rosa, and Connor would be looking for the totem together, Kai would just be off alone, and all that. Challenge-wise, I'd be willing to do most dares, so I'm just gonna say the same thing in canon. Lake's climax to where she has to take off her wig. Also, her and Rosa makeup and our friends again, of course. You would probably, I don't know who you would try to target because again, he didn't see Lake as a threat in canon. So would he see me as a threat? I don't know. And how would he even do it alone? So what I'm gonna assume is he tries to poison one of us, but it fails due to the fact he doesn't have help and he wasn't able to do it. Or he does succeed and Lake notices the mushroom or something like that because my nature knowledge is just non-existent. So anyway, 2-1, Yule is gone. And we have merge. Episode 6. So this is a it's kind of useless, but here would be the duos real quick. Let's just get this out of the way. It would be Rosa, Maria, and Rhea, and Riley and Tess like in canon, and then I used a wheel for the other ones, which would be Connor and Kai, and then Lake and me, which seems coincidental, but either way, I don't know who. I'm just gonna say that Rosa, Maria, and Rhea won since they got second originally, and they can just get first now because I don't know how Lake and I would do in here, especially since Lake is gone and I'm not the best wilderness camp survivor. I'm not alone, so I don't think I can manage to do it. But anyway, Rosemary and Rio went and they have a party. We move on to episode 7. In the morning, Lake and Rosemary and Rio go off and try to get Rio's perfume. I know Connor is still here and he could probably give her another one, but this one would be more sentimental or something since it was her birthday present, something she didn't get from her year. And Lake, of course, gets her iconic new hairstyle with everyone cheering her on. And for the challenge, real quick, we're gonna go over the teams. Remember, it was 4v4, and so Lake and Cannon, Rosa Maria, Ali, and Tess. And then the other canon was Lake and Rhea, and then I used a wheel for the rest of the team, and then it'd be Kai, me on Lake and Rhea's team, and Connor on the Ali, Tess, Rosa team. Since Hunter technically got Rosa out, I don't think we can count her out just yet. I'm going in order for who got out when in the episode. Anyway, however, Ali did get out by Lake, so Ali is technically out of the competition, which I'm just going to put her over here, so you understand that she's out of the competition real quick. Either way, somebody else gets out by Lake. Whoever you want it to be, before you say why I'm not getting anybody out real quick, before you say why I'm not hitting anybody over here. I'm not the strongest at dodgeball. That is not my strong suit in the slightest. Anyway, since the dodgeballs aren't working anymore with whoever got out here, even then, Rosa and Connor would auto lose. I'm just gonna assume, I guess I forgot to put in my script that I thought it was Tess. Oh well. Anyway, it's unfair because outnumbered. So these two are out. No! Rosa did not get eliminated yet. Either way, the duos are Lake and Kai, and I'm against Rhea. This was also chosen by a wheel. I'm gonna assume the same thing happens in canon. I noticed the pool about to break. While the poke is gone, Rhea attacks. By the time I work my back, the last one would fall, causing Lake versus Kai. Lake lost in canon. I'm gonna carry that over here, and I'm just gonna say Kai wins immunity somehow. Good for Kai. Anyway, for here, I think what would happen is me and Lake would be chatting a bit, maybe, and Rosa would come and get us. Rhea would go get Connor and Kai, who would also be chatting. They have a friendship at this point. And the two would suggest that we all work together to vote out Ali or Tess due to their duo or something. I would instantly agree, as I haven't talked much with Ali or Tess at this point in the game. And hello, it's a 6-person alliance. So, Tess would of course eavesdrop like the original, but wouldn't say anything. It would just hang out with Ali the rest of the day, happy, and letting her stay. Since James isn't here to be stupid, what I'm referring to here is in the actual canon, this was confirmed on the wiki, James voted for Ali. Just why? I'm gonna assume everyone has a brain here. So I'm gonna assume that they all vote for Tess deciding upon 6-2. Bye-bye, Tess. Wholesome goodbye with Ali, though. Episode 8. At this point, I probably chose to socialize more with Rhea and Rosa because, again, this is strategic and I need to make sure my bonds are strong enough to continue getting in the game. Rosa would bring me to the front and would show the tone to us with 4, saying that it could bring us to the final 4, and obviously disagreed for me as now I had a backup plan if need be. Challenge-wise, I would definitely think it was real right off the bat, given the fact that Nina had only spoken her own in episode 5, and I get that Aiden wasn't there at the time, but still someone had to get the dare that would cause that. We showed Nina just speak either way, but it wouldn't work. The girls would probably choose me otherwise likely, but it wouldn't work as my brain would just be on high alert. Anyway, we go back to Lake because, and they'd go to the lake. Anyway, Connor and Kai would at this point be good friends. Ali would just want a game, but of course would be caught. So to stay close to canon, I'll just say that Connor and Kai get out first due to the night bridger, just to stay close to canon. Anyway, I'm gonna say Rhea somehow sees Connor quote-unquote dead, which causes her to go into a rage or something. I get that she's the one who says not to act impulsive, but the person she might have romantic feelings about, I don't know. Plus it has drum. So Rhea is next. So Rhea, Kai, and Connor are just out now. I'd probably go next. I do kinda like the horror challenge, but my brain in this one would go auto panic rather than actually think. Carol obviously wins like in the original, and she returns to the game. She has to give 2 people immunity, and Nina will probably tell her to give immunity to Ali and Kai. Ali for obvious reasons, and Kai because he was probably next if Ali couldn't go, which would lead to Rosa Maria suggesting to vote for Connor, sadly to all of us, with Rhea not wanting to but pretending to be fine with it. I would go to Rhea and say she wanted to vote for Lake since she was getting the number to do so, for the same reason as canon, which was due to the challenges. Thinking about the alliance, and also thinking about Connor, and she'd closer to Connor, so she would take out Lake. Getting Ali, Carol wants revenge because me, Rosa, and Lake voting for her, she'd of course want revenge, and so she'd vote Lake too. And then Connor and Kai to vote her due to majority. So this would cause, I don't know how it would go, but I don't know. Lake's gone either way and with no planner. I don't think this is too planner, but I guess it is somewhat. Who knows? Anyway, episode 9. I would immediately have the same reaction when it came to Rosa when it came to the snow. Since I've barely seen snow personally, I've seen it a bit, but not much. Also, Rhea would probably want to target me next, since yes, she has Rosa on her side, but not completely, since I'm here still. Also, Carol would want revenge on me and Rosa, which I would probably find suspicious because me like I'm fixed now. I wonder if she would give me the spider, but I don't know. I'd probably be absolutely terrified of it for a bit because in real life I'm actually severely afraid of spiders. So, either way. Anyway, the duos. Also, I can't build a sleigh at all, so I'm gonna say Rosa wins again here with the building sleigh. And I don't know how Connor can build, nor Kai. It's never stated how they could build something, how well they could. So I'm just gonna say Rosa wins for simplicity. Simplicity here. Anyway, the duos are Rosa Maria and no one as a canon. And then Ali and Kai. And this is gonna be a bit of a change from canon. It's gonna be Rhea and Connor. The reason I'm changing it to Rhea and Connor instead of Carol and Rhea is because due to the fact that it was actually stated that Crystal let everybody pick their partners in canon. We all know Rhea would not pick Carol if Connor is here. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. And so I'd be with Carol, which Allie would legit just carry the sleigh. So I'm just going to assume that Allie's trying to carry the sleigh with Kai. And then Connor and Rhea would be talking with Rhea still secretly having a lot of guilt for the lake thing. And Connor noticing, but just kind of ignoring it. At this point, this would start building up something. This would start the build up for the fight. Either way, Carol and me would be chatting. I would apologize again for voting for her, so there's no bad beef. She would fake forgive me likely, but also say thanks for not voting me up 2 eyes. And also, I would ask about the spider and the animal. Say, I don't know. Either way, Rosa Maria still wins because she can, I think, especially since she's solo, and she can literally carry a sleigh above her head. That was confirmed this episode. She's winning. I think Rosa Maria would choose me instead of Rhea because A, that causes drama. At the point, I think she equally trusts me and Rhea, maybe if anything, and it causes drama, chaos, and gives Rhea more doubts. Also, I think it would make still a lot of sense in character for Rosa to choose me. And since I'm not a jerk like Aiden was, I wouldn't put the spider on Oliver even if I did have it, which even if I want to target Carol after she's trying to target me again, because that could cause serious injury. No. And Canada, Rosa Maria's sled broke. All the same. I'll say the same happens here, so I lose. So does Rosa, though. Allie just gets yeeted off by the same tree, with Kai being confused and all that. Carol wants immunity since no one sabotaged her, no medevac, however, we will still have a double, don't worry. With Carol immune, I really would not know who to target. Rosa would probably suggest Allie here, since she was the only one not in the original alliance. I would agree, since I really just did not know who to vote at that point and who to target. Since Carol was immune. The original idea was Carol, but since Carol was immune, who I meant to go for. Rhea would agree, but go off. She's gonna try and get me out. Why? Because I think I'd be seen as like a little social threat, and Rosa has been shown to trust me more due to the thing originally, and she needs me out if she wants Rosa completely on her side. That would cause her to go to Allie and Carol wanting me out, which Rhea could tell Allie that I was voting her, so that would be enough convincing. And Carol just wants revenge. So 3-1, me and Allie are eliminated. So I think that's a decent run for me personally. Alright, in the morning, the alliance would get to talking. Rhea would mention that she couldn't find her perfume, Connor would mention he couldn't find something in his yada yada. Carol would just be confused. Also, maybe they mentioned my departure. Anyway, like how it even happened, Rhea showed her away, which would cause Connor to be suspicious. Anyway, the challenge. Carol is going to become the new hunter, guys, which means we're skipping to where Rhea exposes Rita still, which causes Connor to be against her and Kai to be confused. Rose would be alone with Kai coming and saying no, she's innocent, as the aura or something from Rhea was suspicious. Rose would be confused, but shove that aside. She had a totem to use, except Rhea stole it. 3-2, Rose was gone in the iconic final secrets of Rhea explaining what she did, getting me and Lake out, etc. Rhea would feel guilty, but move on. Now, the thing that you might be asking is, if Rhea had gone through that much work to make sure Rosa trusts her, why would she do this now? Because again, this is the buildup of her not wanting to trust Rosa still again, and also, she had a plan. She still has a plan, like in Canyon she did. So, I'm saying it's still gonna happen. Moving on to episode 11. Rhea would act confused in the morning, but also see Connor and Kai being best buds. Her next plan was to break that pact ASAP. Carol also came to her asking for an alliance, saying the two could get her out next. Rhea would do the same thing, sabotage Carol here, and that would give her the next highest thing. I'll just assume Carol goes next, Connor goes second to top, and Kai moves here because I don't really know how else to order this, and that's simple.
easy. Rhea would try to do something to break up Kai and Connor's friendship, which works the short term. Kai tries to talk to Connor, but to no avail because again, Connor trusts Rhea a bit more than Kai. Anyway, Kai will now blow up at Rhea in the same episode for what she's done and what he figured out. Carol and Connor are both shot. Connor and Rhea, of course, have a confrontation, all that. In the midst of the anger, Connor manages to hit the darn puppet. Rhea loses in cannon, and Carol will be so shot she can focus, so Connor wins. All votes turn to be on Rhea. Connor is hurt that he had to vote her, but he feels so angry that he does. Kai is hoping she goes, and Carol just voted majority because Rhea was too smart to stay, plus Kai and Connor were in shambles now, and that would be useful to her. She totems, of course, were being revealed that she also stole the darn totem, and Carl is now eliminated. So we actually have our finalists partially. You can say how the finale would go. I think it'd be very interesting if the finale was Rhea versus Connor in the end, because now they have this rivalry and it's just heartbreaking to see. So I'm gonna say Kai goes here. I didn't really write how episode 12 would go, but I think Rhea versus Connor would be a much interesting finale. Would that make Connor the winner? Man, but yeah, this is how this went. Me existing in this storyline, just changing all this, oh my gosh, I caused chaos, oh dear. Either way, yeah, that's how this would go. The video I was really interested in doing, so here it is. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye!